So how do I know what I know, right? Do you ask yourself, how do you know what you know? Because at the end of the day, I mean, I could tell you, I've done research, okay? But there's gonna come a moment in time where you have to like stop doing so much research. See, here's the thing, the same way you know what you know, I'm sure you might have done research. And certain things that you may hear come out of my mouth may not make sense to you, because I'm not regurgitating things that, you know, you may hear on your typical conscious, subconscious spirituality channels where they just say the same thing over and over again. Alright, you see, I may be pulling things from places you wouldn't even think twice to look at. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because, you see, for me to be told to state resources and sometimes information may not make sense, I can tell you this, okay? This is what happens, is that you keep passing history down, and it's always going to be just his story instead of I'm telling you my story, my truth. See, nobody aside from me can tell me what my truth is, okay? This is why the world revolves around me, and the universe will evolve based on my mindset and beliefs, decisions, and choices that I decide to make based on my beliefs. So here's the thing, you'll listen to something, because listen, I'm sure many of you have spoken to a flat earther, a vegan. They're no different than a diehard Jesus Christ fan. Okay, they just come out and lash at you and stuff like that. See, there's people who make videos and they say, I make it from the heart space, authentic and whatnot. But here's the thing though, if you're gonna make a video, shouldn't you be listening the same way you put out information? Okay, because at the end of the day, you could be see, a lot of people, when they do a little bit of research, they think they know everything, and then the first thing they want to do is debate. I'm not a saint, because I've been on that boat, you know what I mean? But it's just about evolving and knowing the differences between what you have done before to make yourself better in the now. Okay, so whatever information I'm putting out, okay, it's information that I've already said this in plenty of my videos. Don't form a belief system around what I say or anybody else says. Everything outside of you, it should be a map, a guide. See, this is why I say know yourself, know the mechanics of yourself. You start to learn the cells, the way your DNA works. You'll start to see that everything outside of you is basically just that, a map and a guide. This is why I talk about also being authentic, because when you're authentic, you can pretty much extract jewels from anything outside of you. And the way that that's going to come to you at a more rapid pace is when you're in a state of appreciation. See, when you listen to information, okay, instead of calling the other person dumb or, you know, telling them they don't know shit because only your information is what values because you know it all, right? So you're only closing yourself off to more of the jewels and abundance that this reality has to offer to you. Because at the end of the day, you see, you're at the level you're at, you're doing the best you can. And at the level you're at of consciousness, based on your frequency and vibration also, you're going to attract people into your reality based on all those things. Okay? And when you understand this and say, I am in appreciation for the information that I'm getting right now, if it doesn't serve me, I could just pretty much keep it moving. But I always say that, like, what good is the debate when in a debate it's just two people that are closed-minded, only trying to get one up on the other? If you only knew, see, me speaking, I could say the world is not mine, the world is yours, but you are me and I am you. I am the you man. Okay, we're playing the part, but I am also very aware of the fact that if I put an energy out and I'm going to be receiving something based on what I am emitting. See, this is why they'll talk about you have a strong aura, a strong presence, a strong energy that comes, you know, that people see energy, they'll say you have a strong aura to you. You have the archangels, let's say, one in your front, one on each side, one in the back, one above you, This is the lights you emit, right? But how strong can those lights be if you don't know the inner shadow dark of yourself? See, light can never exist without the presence of darkness. One always needs the other. Everybody outside of you, okay, you see, people in the conscious community or in the spirituality or in whatever, see, if you're just in this just because it's the new fad, the new thing, the new cool to be in, all right, and this is the thing I'm noticing, that a lot of people are just like, who can come out with the best content, who can come out with the best information, and it's not see, I caught myself a couple of times where I'm like, how many views did I get? How many subscribers do I have? And stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, it's like, I have a goal. And I don't put those goals before me. See, a lot of people put their goals before them and they end up getting washed up and drained out and so fucking tired because they put their goals before themselves. But see, what I want to do literally is build my energy. When I build my energy, is literally putting my energy out and in energizing and empowering people outside of me that are only extensions of me. And I'm trying to, see, I don't even like to use these words, trying. It's more like the I am, okay? Now, what you see before you as a man, like I've mentioned this before, but there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more going on. All right? So, we literally, it's just all about sharing the wealth. Put it that way. Sharing the wealth. Why keep following his story when you could just give my story, the mystery? See, because that's why it's a mystery, because it's my story is a mystery. Right? It's a mystery to you. It's about decoding and deciphering what it is that I'm saying, because I'm a piece of the puzzle that you need to complete your game, and in return you are the piece of the puzzle that I need to complete my game. See, here's the problem, is that like when I said there's going to be a moment in time where you need to stop doing research, is basically a fast, because every time you listen to things you're just under the influence. See, this is what I'm noticing, is a lot of people will listen to information and they're just being taught or told what to think, rather than just really knowing how to think. So if you ask me, how do I know what I know, is I stopped following the what to think and just started to think for myself. Okay? See, I know many people have had this, but do you notice how you can watch a video and it'll spark something in you to make a video yourself? Either to build the information on what you heard, or to pretty much share your perception of it. Because if you really look at religion, for example, you notice how all these religious people, they all fight amongst each other, but at the end of the day, when you just come out the bubble and really look at the overview picture, they're all talking about the same fucking shit, the same thing. I mean, you could watch videos on Santo Bonacci where he explains the story of Jesus Christ, where how it correlates with the spinal cord. You know, the 33rd vertebrae, Jesus died at 33. The oil, the crystals, travels up the 33rd vertebrae, right? The whole ascension, the whole crux constellation, the dying on the cross, all that gets explained. All the figures, all the religious characters are all explained, right? But use it as a guide. Don't even follow that and believe that. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you want to listen to information. Listening to information is the same thing like eating. Eating is information, but you don't look at that as information. Which is why it's important that when you're listening to something, you just extract what you need. The same way when you eat food, you're expecting to extract the nutrients. You metabolize the food and you expel the waste. Alright? Because if not, it's kind of like the belief system is just a blockage. And how do you feel when you can't poop? You feel like shit. It's terrible. You want things to flow. And this is why when I make videos, I'm in flow. I don't even edit my videos, because if I edit my videos, I feel like I cut that flow that I'm in. Okay? See, so much of a flow that I have to go back and watch my videos because I forget what the hell I talked about. And then sometimes I even look at the videos, I'm like, man, that was good. Like you just impress yourself. Like, you're like, wow, that was good information. And you know, you have that as a journal for yourself to go back and listen to, because you were in a flow. You were speaking from the heart, from source. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what the future brings, what's to come, because see, here's the thing. I can look at everything outside of me. Like when I watch videos, all right, I appreciate what I'm watching even though I don't subscribe to it. And the reason for it is because I can see the connectivity, which is basically the conductivity between everything, and how everything is a useful tool, and whatever's not useful, you can use your discernment, intuition. With a clear vessel, you'll know what serves you and what doesn't serve you. And sometimes it may not serve you at the moment, but it may serve you later. You never know. And sometimes you may listen to a video and you don't even understand what they're saying. And the reason why is because your frequency and vibration isn't high enough to understand what it is you're listening to. And why do I say this? Because this happened to me. See, on this journey where I was doing all this research, sometimes I will watch a video and I don't even understand what the person is saying. And then later, somehow I miraculously understand exactly what it is the message is. But that's because I was at a certain frequency and vibration. I was at a certain level. But it's about keep leveling up. A lot of us get very comfortable. And comfortable means that, oh, you want to maintain positivity, and you know, and it's just all about positivity. When when you're too positive, that's also bad. Then you get lazy. So in reality, there always has to be some type of challenge or a stimulus, but you have to know when there's a plateau, and when there's a plateau, you know you need to amp it up a little bit. See, I've taken steps forward, and then I know when I've taken steps backwards. Okay? See, I know when I've used certain things to my advantage, and then I've abused it, and then it's taken me steps backwards. Okay? So the same way that when you fast from food, you level up, sometimes maybe you need to fast from information that you listen to, so that when you are clear and clean, you can go back and listen to things, and instead of regurgitating information, or instead of just trying to debate, okay, you'll know that everything really is a useful tool, and everything that is presented to you at the moment in time that is presented to you for a reason. So look at dreams. When you have dreams, don't you remember certain dreams, and certain dreams you don't? The ones you remember is because they were a message. Those are the ones that you were meant to remember. Okay? So it's the same thing. There's certain things that you may need and certain things you may not hear. Okay? But it is up to you to be self-aware. The same way you keep a journal and write your dreams down, because dreams can easily be forgotten, right? What do? You can make videos, get into a flow, and go back and watch them. It's done miracles for me, because I'll forget what I said, but then I go back and watch it, and it kind of re-energizes me. But why? Because I'm watching myself. I'm energizing myself by watching myself. I can make a subliminal tape right here on camera, keep the tape private, and just listen to it for myself, but it's my own voice. It's me talking to myself, rather than somebody else making a subliminal tape, listening to you listening to them, and you don't even know what it's doing for you. See, nobody can tell you your story better than you could tell it yourself. This is why when you want to know what this game of life is about, it's basically you telling your story. Can nobody tell you your story better than you can? But how useful is it to everybody else outside of you if we really saw the connectivity between everything? This is what 5D consciousness is basically all about, is basically unity consciousness, not divinity or divinity. I really don't think that in actuality, if you're on this consciousness flow, you're gonna feel very washed up and tired, because you're not riding the wave that this energy is all about. And I've realized that myself. You see, my life ain't perfect. This is why I make videos. I make videos because I'm actually evolving. I'm evolving myself by making videos and sharing it with people who will resonate with this, and it will spark something in them for them to tell their story. And then when they tell their story, it's kind of like a domino effect. You start to become the change you want to see. So the world is not mine, it's yours. But you are me. And I am you. We share the mystery. And we decipher and decode it, but it all comes down to clarity. So I'm going to tell you right now, the best thing to do is fast from people, places, and things. And while you're eating, first of all, if you're fasting from food, why would you want to engage in so many different things when all you're doing is wasting energy doing so? So you're trying to level up. It's kind of like a cell phone. You turn your cell phone off when you charge it. It charges faster and better when you turn it off than when you have it on, and while you're charging it, it actually burns the battery out. Everything you hear outside of you is basically useful. It's a tool. It's a map. See, I was watching a couple of videos, like, let's say, for example, on Rob Lazar. He was talking about, he was on our Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about, his experience in Area 51, or S4, which is 15 miles from Area 51. But you know what's funny? He clearly said in one line that he really doesn't care about the aliens. It's all about the technology. See, this is what's really hitting, because once you start to see how things work outside of you, you could start to blueprint how things work within. Yeah, it does start from within, but how much do you learn from things outside of you, right? And be clear so that when you go within, okay, without forming belief systems or expectations or anything, you can start to figure things out a lot easier. But everything starts in the mind. The mind is basically everything that's outside the universe is all mental, but the mind is all, which means that it's like, why would you be subscribed to one thing when the mind is all, and in your mind it's infinite possibilities, infinite potential? You know what blocks you? Fear. And people coming out telling you that you don't know what you're talking about, you're stupid. It kind of puts that person in a position where they might be fearful now to say anything because they are afraid what they might think of them. When in reality, fuck what anybody thinks outside of you. See, when somebody thinks that way, that people outside of them are stupid and don't know what they're talking about, it's because that person really don't know what the hell they're talking about. Okay? And some people sound really smart, but that's not how it is. So, you want to tell me to state resources? I'm gonna put my name on the bottom, and that's my resource. Because I'll tell you right now, I've heard, I listen. See, if you look at the word listen and silent, those two words are interchangeable. When you're silent, you can tune in and listen, and instead of just trying to decipher movies and rap videos or anything, just decipher people and people in your immediate life that even people, places, and things like family members and everything. You start to see the message. Everything will start talking to you. That's why I said, when you start to see synchronistic numbers, what is the first thing people do? They go on Google and they want to find out what does that number mean. When in reality, why would you try to look for what that number means when it was sent to you? It's supposed to mean something to you. It's literally like, if you saw, there's people who go on psychedelic trips. They'll talk about, they see everything, how everything is interconnected. Everything is connected. What's funny is that you'll also be thinking of something and somebody will make a video about it. And why does that happen? That doesn't show you that we're all connected somehow. The minds are somehow connected. And that video somehow presents itself to you at the perfect moment in time to tell you something. But when you're in appreciation, this signals to the universe, okay, that you are open to receiving more information. But the moment you put your mindset to debate because you think you know it all, you're closed off. Evolving is basically looking at the connection between everything and seeing that you can build, because we're all cells, right? Our body consists of protein. We are the building blocks. But when you try to debate, we're not building nothing. This is why I said, look at how the body works. As within, so without. You want to emit a strong light? Know how to work and have your shadow self in order. Because from darkness, you could emit a stronger light. You know what I mean? This is why I say, you know what I mean? The vessel is the medium. This is the medium. You know what I mean? The medium. I'm communicating through this vessel. But it's coming from the thought. Everything, of course, everything starts from a thought. But again, are you being told what to think, or are you knowing how to think for yourself? See, the only reason I put out this video is so that you know that I'm going to respond. I'm not, I'm trying to come out, start a debate, nothing like that. My resources, I let you know how and where I get my information. Listen to it for what it is. You have a clear vessel, you can decide for yourself if something is useful to you or not. Peace.